The atmosphere in a game should not be this important to me, but it is. When a game carefully creates a tone, mood, or spirit, I can feel it almost instantly. The games that do achieve this,
You have failed me, Inquisitor.
will never leave my memory.
Avenge us!
Okay, yeah, she's dead. Now, there are games I've spent such little time with, and because of the atmosphere, I've fallen in love with them way more than games I put 70, 100 hours into. I'm looking at you, buddy. Why is this? What is this indescribable feeling of immersion that comes over me when I play these games? Today, I want to try express these feelings from the heart, to see if you get what I mean. And I can honestly say one of the main ways games create such a heavy atmosphere is its environment. Mario Galaxy has beautiful environments that all helped sell the idea that this 5'1" plumber is traveling across the stars into unknown lands. Anti-gravity planet hopping, bird gliding over lava mountains, Paris. All of these fictional places come alive in these games. I mean, the scope of the camera loves to pan out to these huge maps and set pieces that remind you, the player, that you're just an itty bitty dot in the grand scheme of things. You have to jump, leap, and bound to get to anywhere significant in the game, because this is a maximalist game. There's so much going on in each different map. The heaviness of the goal to save Princess Peach feels so grand and impossible. And yet, this heaviness is always contrasted towards times of quietness. The camera zooms in when he spends time on a smaller, tinier planet looking out onto the stars. The atmosphere wouldn't really feel this way if it was a 2D setting or a linear 3D level. You really have to go back on this game and notice these set pieces, because these are what differs the game from the rest. Look at Tears of the Kingdom. The game has been trying to beat the allegations that it's just a Breath of the Wild reskin. Now, if you just use your brain just a little bit, you'd know that this wasn't the case at all. They took the map and they roughed it up a little, you know what I'm saying? Look at the wear and tear of the land. Look at everything that's changed and how the civilians have adapted. Like, come on, guy, come on, man. The quests we solved last game don't matter, because with a new global event, it creates more money, more problems for the people of Hyrule. Thank God. The visual storytelling in this game is good, because God forbid Nintendo actually makes a decent story. Look, it took me a while to come to terms with this, since I'm used to this franchise being a solo, isolated experience. It was weird how I was mostly never alone. But whether you like it or not, the people of Hyrule haven't forgotten your presence. The towns are no longer 4 separate points of interest in the map, but a nation of creatures banding together as a community. But that's just how bad the situation has gone. Guys, seeing the Gerudos fight alongside the Gorons is like seeing rednecks fight alongside black people. Everyone plays to their strengths, helping one another despite who you are or what you look like. Because when you can't do everything yourself, you do what you can. And you feel this unity between everyone, with you at the center in this game, and it's up to you to deliver that final blow and defeat Ganondorf. All from a world where the main character doesn't even talk. This game realistically shouldn't be one of my favorite games of all time, but it is. It's just a walking simulator of a dude who's had a terrible string of years and takes on a summer job to escape his reality. But what makes this game so atmospherically amazing is the music. From beginning to end, the sounds and the musical instruments create this mood of the wilderness I didn't know you could create. Here's me at the lake, here's me watching the beautiful sunset, and here's me getting jumped from behind. Guy, what? I thought this was like Animal Crossing. The sounds of being isolated in these caves, mountains, and obviously in the cabin really made me feel like if something were to happen to me right now,
There's some guy out here giving me the creeps.
there's nothing anybody could do to stop it. Guy, it's like this inherent fear as a gamer, because you know this game's too normal of a setting and too normal of a premise. There's no way things aren't going to take a turn for the worst. The soundtrack of the happy acoustics turns sinister. as you uncover more and more secrets in Firewatch that make you even more confused about the plot. But don't worry, it wraps it all around, okay? It's not a bad ending, it's a pretty good ending. And I know this isn't exactly music, but the voice acting in this game sets the playing field for one of the biggest mysteries of all time. Here's how they did it. There are only two characters in this game, Henry and Delilah. The latter you never see face to face, but is the only person you can talk to the whole summer. It's exactly those blanks of silence in Firewatch that allow dialogue between Henry and Delilah to hit that much more.
Tell me what you think of this. Did you just cough?
No. Did you just cough?
No.
Oh,
Fuck.
Because of that, difficult questions start popping up in your head. Is this even worth it? Guy, will we even make it to the end of the summer? Who's listening in to our radios? What are they even hiding? Is the woman we've been speaking to on the radio this entire summer, is she in on it too? Okay, look, I'm gonna give you 30 minutes to uncover the truth about your entire life, why people are trying to kill you, and what really happened the night you met your wife at New Year's. Think you can do it? Well, try to do that in 12 minutes, okay? 12 minutes is a game where you have to find a way to break this infinite loop you're in. You get back from work, have dinner with your wife, a strange man claiming to be the police barges through, demanding to know where this pocket watch is, and you either die or get knocked right back to when you came back home from work. It's up to you to have different conversations and approaches to figure out more of the truth. This mechanic of repeatability makes you very attuned to the slightest change of events. And you start listing off things that just didn't work for you. You can't stab the guy. You can't leave. You tried to straight up asking your wife the truth, but you know, that doesn't work. She's on her period. You try drugging her. You even try handcuffing and talking to the hitman. Each time giving you a piece of the puzzle, but it's nerve-wracking because you're trying to see the bigger picture in all this, but you just can't. Oh, like, you don't even realize, but it's been hours playing the game now because you're so hooked. Eventually, you lay back on your chair and you just let them talk.
Just stop, please. I'll tell you. Just don't hurt him, please. Watch is in.
Wow, so close that time. Everyone who plays this game has the same face during the big plot reveal. This much active participation needed from the gamer makes you more locked in than a Souls fight. Trying a different combination of items or dialogue has your mind racing at 100 kilometers per hour, waiting for that big brain moment to hit. It's exhilarating, and it creates tension in the atmosphere.
That's what's going on, what I think is going on. If that's the case, Lewis, you a nasty nigga, bro. I like your style, though.
Well, what about limiting the character's options? What about if the game removed your square button to attack, your R2 button to sprint, or your mercy button, so no matter what you do, you have to kill what's in front of you? Undertale is a definition of using simple RPG mechanics in creative ways to add to the atmosphere. The mechanics help to world build and create a tone that everything you do matters. Knowing the right dialogue allows players to mercy their enemies, and killing the wrong characters affects relationships and endings from the second you press start. But I think the best thing I like about this game is its explanation and the relevance to how they explain reviving. If you ever do play Undertale again, notice very carefully what is said on the death screen because it's really impactful. In the game, it explains you can only respawn because you are a human. Unlike these monsters, you have the power called determination. In a weird meta way, the game looks beyond the game character and stares directly at the player, at us. It constantly gives you the choice of turning off the game, closing your laptop and leaving this world, or retrying and resetting the timeline. But what if a monster got these powers too? What if a monster gained human determination to get right back up? What if they could control your save files and therefore control you? I mean, by the game's inner rules and mechanics, they will technically be the hardest boss in the game, right? Does that not send shivers down your spine? Because it does for me, okay? Okay, I got a little tingle, little tingle. Once you understand how they treat mechanics as a science, it puts so many different interactions into perspective. It gives sense that anything could happen. Anything. To end off this point and this video, I want to tell you exactly just how impactful the atmosphere can be in a game. This scene is a combination of everything we talked about in this one dialogue. And to be honest, it's my favorite dialogue throughout the whole game. So I'm gonna just add a little bit of flavor for the most part. But it's true mostly to the actual dialogue, okay? Okay, ready?
You've come a long way, traveler. You've sacrificed a lot, made friends, and have taken the road less traveled to create a life full of companions and allies by your side. You've chosen mercy, not to kill anyone, and to that I commend you for doing what most would give up on much long ago. You've earned your way out of the underground. But yet, I stand in your way of freedom. I'm afraid this time, your sweet talking won't be enough. Ready?
A strange light fills the room. Twilight is shining through the barrier. It seems your journey is finally over. You're filled with determination.
Human. It was nice to meet you. Goodbye.